in the comments section on that helmet lock, I'm not sure if people watched the video the whole way or if some people saw my comment that I pinned at the top, but I'll just make a quick video. My goal for that lock was I really didn't want to have to make a modification to the bike, which ruled out the one I found where you lock it here, because a lot of people said that after just a few months to a year or two, the lock became very hard to turn, and the guy who made it basically was of no help. And I really didn't want to have to add another key or a combination to it. I don't want to have to remember another combination, and I didn't want to fuss with a key if there was a quicker way. And so when I found this solution, I'm under no illusions that, you know, a determined thief is going to be prevented by this lock. If somebody's carrying wire cutters, they can do it. If they want to tear up the D-rings and the strap for whatever reason, they can do it. But, you know, the old phrase of keeping honest thieves honest was kind of where I was coming from with it. And some of you, many of you, said that you thought that would damage the seal / gasket on the saddlebag. Well, just a few thoughts about it. Now, the guy who made it was clearly biased, but, you know, it's his product. I asked his opinion, and he said he's been making these and selling them for 8 years. 1 year at Sturgis. I think he said he was the #1. I don't know how you measure this or who did, but he claimed that at Sturgis 1 year his product was the #1 selling product at that rally that year. I don't know. I'm just passing along. But he's been doing them for 8 years, and he has a saddlebag he takes with him to do the demos. And he said he's demoed it literally hundreds of times, and there's been no damage to the gasket or seal. And it sounds like he points that out as a selling point at the same time. Now, we can all say, well, he made it. Of course he's going to say that. Whatever. But my own thinking, too, is that, you know, I'm not leaving it there for four weeks. I'm going to be using it very randomly. And when I do, probably for 2 to 4 hours at a time, if I had to guess. Not overnight. And I'm thinking 2 to 4, maybe 2 to 5 hours. Sometimes shorter than 2. You know, up to 2. And maybe it's up to 6. And I don't know that sort of limited exposure is going to permanently damage the seal and gasket. The other thing I find is how interesting it is that most people say they try to avoid riding in the rain at all or won't ride in the rain. So I'm not sure if the seal or the gasket is doing a lot of good anyway. I might be missing something. I might be thinking about that wrong. Of course, I don't want to damage my seal either. But some people have said use a D-ring with a cable. I did experiment with the gun lock, and it was just really tight. And of course, with the ratchet system, you still got to use one of those little T-bar things. So anyhow, reasonable minds will differ, but I think I'm going to keep using this. Some people said the same thing that I was worried about, which is that the helmet could fall off the bike and scratch the bike, or worse, or damage the helmet, which, yep, that could definitely happen. I've seen a lot of people hang their helmet off the mirror. I mean, I guess they're feeling like the mirror is holding it on there, even if a wind blows. What I didn't like about it being on the seat was it really brought attention to the fact that it's sitting there. The other thing is, people were questioning, are people really stealing helmets? Is this really a problem? How many people do you know that have had their helmets stolen? Well, I could say the same thing about bike thefts. None of these are quote-unquote that common. I know a bunch of people on the internet who have said their bike has been stolen, and they took zero, would you say zero effort if it didn't have a lock on it? I don't know, you know, do you blame them or not? And you know, to really study this, you would have to know how many people leave their helmets out to begin with. You can't help but leave your bike out if you don't have a garage or some other solution. So I would expect more people get their bike stolen, because most people probably take their helmet with them like I've been doing. So there's zero chance of it being stolen. So I don't have faith in humanity to say, well, it's never going to be stolen. Or statistically, it's never going to be stolen. You know, it's probably the most expensive piece of gear many of us have. So to put it on there with zero protection. Now, is there better protection? Sure. Taking it in is better. A better D-lock, certainly better. So I'm not saying this is the best one by any means. But, you know, just like a gun, the best gun to have is the one you're actually going to wear and take with you. Not the big, powerful gun back at home. And when it comes to these locks, it's like the most effective one might be the one you actually will use because it's convenient and portable. So anyhow, that's that on that. So I just wanted to respond to that. And I'll see you on the road.